Datuk Khairul Annuar, who's the president of the Petroleum Dealars Association of Malaysia. Thank you so much, Datuk Khairul, for joining us on the LITE Breakfast.
Anytime, Belinda.
Now, looking at the current situation in Malaysia with COVID-19 and the MCO, of course, how badly affected are the petrol dealers here in Malaysia?
We are very badly affected, but not to say that others are not. So just like everyone. The only thing is that we were hit by two things. The falling in price last month caused us on average to lose about 40 to 50,000. We buy high, we sell low. But we're lucky that we get to operate, which is a good thing. But we are operating on a loss because prices are still going down and sale is 20% of its normal level. So all in, yeah, we're quite badly affected, especially on our working capital.
So why are the prices, I mean, the prices are dropping obviously because there's a glut in supply. Why are they still producing so much?
Profit driven countries and entities, oil and gas is all about profit, right? And even if they did cut, right, Russia and Saudi have just agreed to cut, but at the end of the day, they just realized even with that cut, there's still nowhere to go. Because if Malaysia is 20%, maybe about 100 countries are fighting COVID right now, maybe overall about 50% down. So that in itself will create a glut. So irrespective, there's no storage, and yeah, I don't know, soon it will be, I mean, actually, the price is actually much lower than our pump price right now.
So it'll be sooner cheaper than water.
It is already. It is. I sell both.
Oh no, now we have to think about, like, you know, making our cars drink water now.
Yeah, that would be good.
More of a
profit,
profit, right?
Yeah.
Now, overhead costs for running a petrol station, of course, includes the franchise payment. You have your staff costs, your rental, among others. Will we start seeing petrol stations shut down once we overcome this pandemic? Is it as serious as that, Dato?
Okay, just to understand the whole thing, we are at the end of the chain. There's upstream, there's downstream, there's refinery, depots, and us. So we take the input from downstream, the depot, and then also the commercial customers like the airline and so on and so forth, right? So, but right now, the commercial customers are very badly hit. And, you know, the airlines, the transportation, and so on and so forth, they're very badly hit. So I just had a meeting with the EPU, and they think that commercial is only going to recover next year. Or at the end of the year, or something like that. So right now, the whole oil and gas chain depends on us selling. Okay, so in the MCO, we're selling 20%. So everybody's having problem. The bunkers, the depots, the refinery, everybody's just a backlog. And we were hit by last month's price fall, about 40, 50,000. It doesn't seem much, but we are small traders. So our rolling capital is about 200 to 250. So 50,000 gone is a lot.
Yes.
And on a weekly basis, daily basis, monthly basis, we are also expanding out more than we are making. Right now, we are making about 50% of our expenses. So it will hit hard when MCO is over. Right now, because the sale is low, the price is low, so our working capital can still maintain to buy that product. But once the MCO is lifted, then you will see that people have actually not have enough money to buy. So there will be a backlog. Commercial is not buying, so downstream is going to have problem, refinery is going to have problem if we also cannot sell. And that's where we are facing issue, which is to prepare ourselves so that our working capital is enough comes the new norm, the new normal.
So how bad will it be though? Will we start seeing the bigger petrol stations will survive, or will we see everybody just struggling?
I can do another round of survey, but from the survey that we did with SME, most of our dealers say we can only survive 1, 2, or 3 months with the current working capital. But that's not just us, that's everyone, right? But yeah, and the rate that MCO is going, being what I do on the other side that I just told you just now, I think it's going to be a lengthy MCO. So more and more of our working capital will be depleting. So the issue right now is how do we recover? How do we buy back the stock when the traffic is normal and everybody's out and going back to work and to school and so on and so forth.
So there is a contingency plan right now once MCO is lifted.
Okay, the government gave us a lot. We went with the SME, and then the government gave the package, Ransangan SME, which is good. But you know, I mean, I've been very vocal. I come out to say that our industry is suffering and so on and so forth. But it works against me, because when you go to the bank to ask for SRF or whatever funds, now the bank say you guys are risky. So how are we going to give you? So even I'm talking to you right now, so I may have a negative feedback on the bank's risk appetite for us. But yeah, but we will in a way get back the demand. It's just that whether or not we can buy because of the diminished working cap. Yeah.
But you were saying earlier that even after MCO is lifted, you're seeing that people might not buy as much because people don't have enough money, and that will disrupt the whole supply chain, the end users.
Yeah, because if we can't buy the fuel, then the supply for the users will be
limited,
disrupted. Yeah, in some places and so on and so forth. So there could be instances where the stations start to close down totally, or there are instances where, you know, stock will dry out and then only come back because we need to roll the money and try to churn back the profit to recover and so on and so forth. So I think we're trying our best. We've gone with the government. The Pekeso thing is very good. You know, you go to petrol station in Klang Valley, do you see locals or do you see foreigners?
Foreigners.
I haven't been out of my house for the past 2 weeks, so I don't know.
I mean, the popular perception is that we employ more foreigners, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But the actual fact is we employ 20% foreigners out of 100. But those who employ foreigners cannot get the Pekeso. So that part they might miss out. The banks are saying that we are risky, maybe because I was too loud. So in a way, we still need the financial backing come MCO being lifted.
Yeah.
So we are working with the oil companies. Thank you very much. I think Petronas and Shell have been very good. We hope that Petron, Caltex, and BHP follow suit. We're trying to see how we can recover, just not going to the government on its own, because Petronas and Shell, they realize that if we don't buy, they can't sell.
True.
You know, and they'll be stuck all the way to upstream. So we are all connected. It's a chain. So we need to ensure that the public will get it.
Is that how the Petroleum Dealers Association is helping the whole oil and gas industry as a whole during this hard time?
We are critical. Just saying that, because if we don't sell now, everything is even worse.
Yeah.
But even that is also bad because we're only selling 20%. But we are even more vital after MCO because commercial is not really picking up. I don't think you guys are going to fly. I'm not going to fly. So, you know, so we are vital in that way. And for us, we have to survive.
Yeah.
And that's the most important thing for the whole oil and gas, for the domestic oil and gas industry to survive.
So that means either way, whether MCO is lifted at the end of April or if MCO is extended, petrol dealers are going to be in for a rough time then.
Yeah, but it will be more apparent after MCO is lifted, because then we have to ramp up our purchase and we need to have more money in hand. Right now, all companies.
So if MCO is extended even more, the recovery after that, it's going to be much worse.
Because every day we are operating at a loss. That means we are eating into our working cap.
Yeah.
Last month itself, we already gone 40, 50. Now it doesn't go as fast, but it's still diminishing. It's not going out.
Now, have you personally been impacted by COVID-19 or MCO? I know you mentioned earlier that you're part of the Bulan Sabit, so
yes.
You've been helping in that sense as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, Well, am I personally infected? Is that your question?
No, as in affected by the
affected. Okay.
Not
I was just
infected.
checking the text again. Okay.
Were you COVID-19 positive? No, right?
I'm in the center of the topmost red zone. I'm in Kajang and Hulu Langat. Even my street in front of the station, 1 kilometer down the road, there's a permanent closure into Kajang town. So if mine went to 70% down, now 80+% down. So yeah, I'm very, very badly impacted because of where I am. So I'm even worse than many, many people around Malaysia.
But you're part of essential services, though.
Yeah.
So you can't move around slightly.
I need to feel good about something else, other than just thinking about how bad the industry is, because everybody is facing the same thing. So yeah, I'll try to do something better for the people, I guess. Yeah.
It's very concerning for a lot of people because we've been speaking to a lot of different SMEs who say that they've been struggling, and a lot of financial and economic analysts who are saying, well, the oil and gas industry is the one that we place the most hopes on to try to recover the economy after the pandemic and after the MCO. And here we are hearing that, oh no, it's going to be a struggle probably to the end of the year.
Okay. Upstream, downstream. Upstream will struggle a lot because they depend on the price of market price, refineries as well. But for us, in theory, retail, the lower the price, you buy 50 ringgit worth of fuel, you will not reduce, but you get more liter.
Yeah.
So in theory, downstream, especially retail, should be able to sell more in theory because of the low price. MCO, you can't do that. But judging from what's going on in Wuhan right now, during the recovery stage, even that also, people don't really travel after the MCO is lifted. One, because employers suddenly say, work from home is better.
Exactly, yeah.
I save a lot more money. Number two is because people is just still not really feeling secure because there's no antiviral. And though some quarters do say that in Klang Valley, we may get a net effect because people will not want to go into the buses, may not want to go to the MRT, so maybe they will want to drive themselves. So possibly, maybe net effect, maybe more people go on individually driving the car instead of public transportation, so more people are buying fuel. But we'll see. Wuhan is affected, everybody is affected, and they never recover. Restaurants are still not being filling up like before. Traffic is not as much as before, Good thing there's no traffic jam, but bad thing is bad for you because not many people are listening during rush hour.
Not the ones in Puchong, though. We just saw the jams in Puchong.
Oh my God,
yeah. I don't know where.
I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, so the petrol stations in Puchong on the LDP must be doing quite well over there, I suppose.
I guess so, yeah. I guess
you're on the ball, Datuk, because radio listenership in the car has always been our top listeners, like in the car.
Yeah.
But we're lucky because we also have our online platforms and all that, so people are also going to listen from our online platforms.
I think that's better to do.
But are you just worried about which ones we are most concerned with? KL in the Klang Valley, the gas stations are, you think, gonna be able to ride this wave and then stay open, or is KL gonna, or is in Klang Valley gonna be the main one where we'll see the most closures?
If there are closures, I would say Klang Valley not so much, because most of the middle to high volume stations are in Klang Valley. It's more on the rural areas, outskirts, and so on and so forth. But that doesn't mean I'm ruling out everyone. Because I would say it will be worse outside in the rural and in the partial rural and so on and so forth.
So everyone struggles a bit.
Everyone. I mean, you guys.
So has any of your dealers come to you for advice on what they can do for their business to thrive even during these trying times?
They're not just coming to me, they're asking me what am I doing for them. So, yeah. I'm going everywhere. I had a meeting with EPU 2 days back, Economic Action Committee,
Okay.
on oil and gas, and I'm reaching out to the Ministry of Finance. I'm reaching out to everyone because we tried to get our main cost is HR.
Yeah.
Okay, salary, and the government said, okay, I've given you per queso. So 80% of our workers is covered by that per queso for 3 months, but 20% are still being loud lah because they have foreign workers.
Foreign, yeah.
Then we went back to TNB in Suruhanjaya Tenaga because our bills are actually expensive, between 5 to 15,000 a month. So we asked them whether we can get discounts like hotels and tourism and so on and so forth. But then I realized TNB is also having problem. We spoke to them, their collection is also coming an issue because people are not really paying now because everybody's struggling. So at least the government is helping. They allow us to operate 12 hours instead of previous 18 hours to 24 hours. So we reduce that. But yeah, still people are not happy. So I guess still some are really, really struggling. And I'm just worried post MCO, what's going to happen to them.
What advice would you give to them though?
What advice? I don't know. I mean, if you have liquidity, fine. If you don't, find a way to find liquidity so that you can get enough money to buy the fuel when MCO raise. But I think the best thing is to the brand association, our sub members, to talk to your oil companies. The oil companies should be able to help you out. And I'll do my part to talk to the government, but the individual brand association have to come up with packages like what we in Shell and Petronas is doing for the rest of them. Yep.
All right. Do you have any message though to Malaysians out there on behalf of the petrol dealers?
What can I say? If you think that we are not keeping our petrol station clean, just rest assured that we do disinfection on touch points every hour, every half an hour, especially the nozzles, the door handles, and so on and so forth. And please, one more thing, please respect social distancing at the petrol station, because our workers, even though you don't see it that way, but we see them as frontliners. And we have members, my ex-cos just came out of ICU. The wife is in normal care, and the workers as well. You know, and the infection can be at the station. So we don't want to infect you, but we also don't want you to infect us. So please, just respect the social distancing and take care of yourself. We do provide hand sanitizers. Use it before and after pumping, and don't forget, even if our doors are locked, we are still selling items from the shop. We need that sale to help cover our expenses. Yeah.
Are you doing any online sales of your products, your shop products?
Yeah.
Oh, I did a survey. I went through Grab and GrabMart, PandaMart, and so on and so forth. But our margin is about 20 to 30%, and their cost is 20 to 30%. So I don't know how I don't want to pass everything to the customer, right? So we still have to find a better platform to help. If there's any platform out there, owners who think that you can help us, the petrol dealers, to help us send our items, yeah, contact me. Get my number from the website, and then we'll be happy to engage you to send our products from the station to the customers.